Alright, this is my Raw review for Monday, November 26th, 2012, live from somewhere down there in, what do you call that city? Louisiana. I was thinking of, called it the Popeyes Arena, but whatever. And Raw it was okay. I missed the first bit, but I found US it starts in, obviously at 8 o'clock. Canada starts at 9:15. So I kind of had both going at the same time, caught up of what I missed. And besides a very weak, first hour, the last 2 hours weren't that bad at all. So I'm gonna really glaze over the first hour. Besides, Titus O'Neil and Ryback opened the show. It was a typical Ryback thing. He faced Darren Young on SmackDown, so Titus O'Neil's on Raw. And he pretty much held Raw hostage, as they mentioned, making Vickie make the TLC match for the title. And I was expecting it to be a tables match, considering they were doing so much thing with, Survivor Series getting put through a table, and then last week got put through a table. But TLC, I'm sure Punk will win, and the finish is going to be a powerbomb through a table. And I think that's probably where they're going to release that Brad Maddox is part of the whole he's in cahoots with everyone. It's Brad Maddox and then the Shield and then Punk and Heyman. I think they're all just one big group. So I think the TLC is going to be the big payoff for that. And then that kind of leads into the Royal Rumble, where The Rock has to worry about all these guys, and he'll overcome the odds either way. And then Del Rio versus Khali. As much as I love Khali, I think the guy just has to go. Just I don't know. Of course, here I am, the mark for Jinder Mahal and all, but Khali's not there anymore. I don't think he ever was, honestly. He's a huge superstar in India. He's the Hulk Hogan in India, but here, and when it comes to actual wrestling, no one cares, and why should they? Tamina Snuka versus Alicia Fox. Nothing really to say besides your typical Divas match. Not gonna, or whatever. And they showed a recap of the Cena thing, and then Cena comes out and says stuff like he's been here for 10 years and he's never been interrogated like he has been about the AJ thing. Vickie comes out, and then AJ comes out, and she says, since I'm not GM, I could do whatever I want. So she gave Cena a little pat on the butt. She grazed him, and it was dumb. It really was. And the whole AJ thing, I have in mind, like, a lot of people don't like it, and I've always said, it's whatever, it is what it is, but this segment really showed, like, yeah, I knew why people don't like it, because now I'm kind of part of that whole thing where it was just too much. And Vickie makes Cena versus Ziggler for later tonight. Then we had the Raw Active. This was just before the Cena segment. It was Punk and Bryan and Kane. You got to pick which of the two would face Punk. Team Hell No. And Bryan was trending worldwide. WWE Bryan. And keep that in mind when they when they do the results. And they announced Sheamus versus Cesaro. So right there you got three matches. Cena and Ziggler, Cesaro and Sheamus, and then quite obviously I thought Bryan and Punk all on a Raw. That was stacked, and I'm like, man, this Raw's going to be awesome. But further on we'll go. Tensai versus Kofi Kingston. They aired on commentary. Tensai is just one of those heels that baby faces can just go over and kind of give momentum to, since he's a big guy. And that's all this was. Kofi Kingston won with the he hit the Trouble in Paradise from the outside, and then he just did a springboard crossbody for the pin. And it was whatever. Bear explained some mind games by giving him the belt, just smiling, walking away, and they just played his music as if like this is such a shocker that, whatever. Then they released the voting, and there was a little segment before where Bryan saying, no one likes you, Kane, and then let's see the states of the blues me, and then the red's you, and the whole thing was blue, and then he said, let's check the world, and the whole world was blue. And then Kane's like, Bryan's like, maybe in hell there might be something there for you, and then Kane got mad. Then they released the results. Kane won with 50, I think it was 56 or 53, I'm pretty sure it was 56% of the voting. And I was like, this Daniel Bryan was trending worldwide, and they even announced it. And you're telling me that Kane got 56% of the votes? I know it's rigged. I know it's been rigged since day one, but just insulting the fans' intelligence like that was just too much to me. I don't know. I was very, very upset. But we did get Daniel Bryan versus Mysterio, which was a quality match. Very good for the 2 TV match time they had. Bryan looked good, Mysterio looked good, and the finish was 619, and the Sen drop in the dime, and 1, 2, 3. Nothing really more to say about that. Then what else? Ziggler versus Cena, like 2 great matches back to back. A lot of back and forth. I thought Cena had the thing with the attitude adjustment. Ziggler reversed, then the zigzag. Cena kicked out, but the finish was kind of what did it in, where AJ came out, or sorry, Vickie came out, then AJ came out, and then Ziggler went to hit Cena with the briefcase. Cena reverses into the AA on his bad knee, nonetheless, and gets the win. And I think this is going to set up, obviously, a TLC match where I think Ziggler will win. If Cena wins on Raw, they're going to give the pay-per-view match to Ziggler. And we had Sheamus versus Cesaro, which was another great match, like 3 great matches in a row on Raw. Well, highlights are hard hitting, a lot of uppercuts, and Claudio or Antonio Cesaro being an absolute tank, freak of nature. This guy just deadlifts anything, and finish came, Big Show's music hit, and then it was a Cesaro countout. He didn't get pinned, which is good, so he still stays strong, but Big Show broke a chair and showed his strength. And then Damian Sandow versus Zack Ryder. Sandow, what his promos when he comes to the ring. Please be quiet as I am talking, thank you. Just little lines like that, just adding more heat to what he already gets. Very, very clever, man. And the match was just whatever, didn't pay too much attention to it. And they just recapped. I didn't see the Shield, their little segment, so I saw this in full just before the main event. And I was surprised. They did well. Roman Reigns is the muscle, no talking, obviously. Dean Ambrose is the leader. He does the talking. Ambrose and his sidekick is Seth Rollins, who kind of drops his 2 cents in. But I think the 50-50, I think it's the leadership is there. But when you see a guy who looks like the leader and who looks like he's taken leadership of the group, I think Dean Ambrose is the one. But I'm looking forward to it. And the main event with Kane and Daniel Bryan, I was surprised it started at 10:45. I knew that. I'm like, this can't be the main event because Raw finishes around 10 after 11. And main event going that long is kind of weird. But they did go about 10 minutes before the end time. Kane lost, GTS, and then the Shield came out. They started beating on Kane. Daniel Bryan came out. He got laid out. And then we had Ryback come out. Punk, being the cowardly heel he is, ran off like a scalded dog, then came back. And the Shield just, it was that thing. Ryback had Punk up for a powerbomb, and Roman Reigns gave Ryback a spear, and Punk lands on the chest of Ryback. I thought, man, this guy's gonna... he literally sat all his weight on his chest, and you saw him like, damn, like, I don't know if that was supposed to happen, or if it was like, I don't know any safe way to do that, but Ryback's chest is pretty big as it is, so I'm sure it didn't hurt him too much, but from what I was seeing, I was like, damn, like, that's gotta hurt. But other than that, that was Raw. It was decent. Very better than usual. I hope the ratings show in that matter, because I think they did do a fair job of putting wrestling on the program and not focusing so much on the drama part. The ending kind of left a question. Cole left a question for the viewers saying, what do you guys think? Are the Shield in cahoots? And I think everyone wants them to say yes. I think it is obvious that they are, but it hasn't been revealed yet. So that's it. Looking forward to next week, seeing what the Shield has to do. It's new faces like that, new storylines, new faces make people want to watch, and putting on good matches like Cesaro versus Sheamus, like Mysterio versus Bryan, like Cena versus Ziggler. That's what's gonna get people to watch. That's what gets me to watch, and that's what got me to enjoy the show. Because normally by 10:30 I am ready to go, but I don't know if it's fair to say, since I did start technically watching at 9 o'clock. I went back and I skimmed through the first hour. So it could be that. But 2 hours, easy to sit through for the most part, besides the yeah, for the most part, it was good. And I just enjoyed Raw, and I'll see you guys in the next video.